February 23rd, 9:30 in the morning. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. How did the investigation go, yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of grey areas. Rather, the whole thing is one big grey area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? Defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to the trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. I mean, yeah, but the whole point is to defend them. You can't defend someone you don't believe is innocent. Never forget that. Miss Skye, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. True, you are the chief of prosecution. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Faye helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be all alone in there, so I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Well, at least we got some help. Okay, half an hour later. Odd time skip. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth? It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in the courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. Fair enough. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Fair enough. Good guy Edgeworth, I suppose. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow. He's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Wedgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen. Not a very good nickname, if I'm honest. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar. I've never even eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. I mean, free food. Is it free though if he's ordered it? And for you, I have the Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. I mean, food. Will the witness state her name and profession? And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It's too early for lunch. That's true, it's only 10 in the morning. Did the judge not eat breakfast? Why else would he be wolfing it down? It's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? Why is she avoiding the question? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. You've been poisoned, sir. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. I can read. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. Who? I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up, then. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honour, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Uh-huh. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Star was a detective? And now she hands out lunch? Is it? Well, I'm assuming it's a lot more peaceful life, but like a lot more. Well, I can't really say it's boring, can I? Because it's down to her. Aha! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen, Angel Star, Your Honour. Long time no see. Very well, you may continue with this, the description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady? A detective? A queen, apparently? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot of the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. Block A is the prosecutor's office personnel, and Block B is the is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's space, yes? So, how was Block B involved? Because we only investigated Block A. The crime took place by the car in the back of Block A, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with his knife and went to drive the body out. Again, though, that's not the blood marks of a stab. That's like a cut. Even then, that's more of like a smearing than it is an actual cut. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honour. Okay. Witness, did you see the crime, the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honour. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honour. It seems that the poor loser... It seems the poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honour. Wow. We're just doing our job, and here you are calling us a loser? Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, mister. Whose side are you on? Wait, are they talking about me? Okay. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuition at work. Through the wide fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to the big garage car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's heart, or chest. Good thing you specified the pointy end, because some of these people, no, they use the handle to stab. Okay, bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife, which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Flesh wound. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Okay. And why would you know this? How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic adherence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. As he says with a bow, fair enough, Edgeworth. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. I suppose. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against the prosecutors? I felt that I have found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by the prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. So you were fired. Laid off, so she was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr. Were you investigating? This boyfriend. He's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Could I be? No, Judge. Though, you seem like a nice, naive old man. You probably could get brownie points, I guess. Yes. This boyfriend, that boyfriend, the other boyfriend. Care to join? Never mind, apparently you've got an invitation. Go for it, Judge. The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applications. Or applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. You're missing out, Judge. Okay, that's free. It's free meals. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. Oh, what's wrong with him thinking before replying? He weighed the options. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. Cool. It's on the second level. Okay, so it's okay. So is that the thing? It's on the second level that you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, you did bring your lunchboxes by car. Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block. She was in B block when she witnessed the crime. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuition at work. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? Well, it felt like... how would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. Disgusted? If I even think I know what that is. I have no idea what that means. I'm with you, Judge. Speaking of a detective intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. Not old enough to be appreciated? I don't know. I wouldn't really like old cheese. A pale white cheese, not yet tangy and with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then I must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as tack. Or as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. Damn. Skye just said this man's stinky. In any case, well, there, in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to the garage car. By garage car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with the victim's blood... the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. Plus, Edgeworth has an alibi. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, is your testimony... You clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, You are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? I'll have you know we've beaten 4 cases. That's almost an entire hand of fingers. Actually, no, it isn't an entire hand of fingers, unless you include the thumb. Take your pick. Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lately, but my instincts are all honed. It's true, she does have the skills. That's a fair thing. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. Fair enough, most witnesses do not have pictures. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. That seems like an invasion of privacy. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Fair enough. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. Yeah, it's kind of their job, and you're not an investigator anymore. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this most certainly is the defendant. Am I supposed to learn something? Oh, this is unmistakably Lana Skye. She's wearing gloves, so no, what we call it. She's wearing the victim's coat. For some reason, unless that's not hers, or the victim's. So what was the defendant doing at the time? Well, that's clearly not what's being shown in the thing. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well-versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it's easier for them... Well, I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. The ESSS. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an... What? You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg, I mean a person. I have to turn to a robot to read that. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding the knife. Or a knife. What then? Tell Cole why you didn't stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said it before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. That sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads on cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. Okay, so I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try fence, garage car. Okay. No prints. Due to loss of blood, one knife wound, and then An hour and a half. Oh, 4 p.m. So... Right, ranging to 5 and up, okay. Victim's memo found in the trunk. Nicole, was that 8:15? God, 5:18. Check. Nope. Back. Yeah, sure, let's try it, Objection! Oh, the music stopped. And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with the knife? As I already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swell lunch. I'm sure there's a fine lunch, but isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. The photograph you took is of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Okay, yeah, then why is there already blood on the clothes? Then why is Miss Skye not holding the knife? Miss Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection? That's the calmest objection. Yeah, that had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. And yet it is still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. Really just hit us with a... I don't need any more than that. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. It was taken the moment after the stabbing. Objection! And how can you tell that? The blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's black and white photograph. That's not true. Why would you even argue that? Or even think that? Yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Yeah, I'll object. Wait, this contradicts the witnesses said in her testimony, namely that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it. If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice. I don't have time to I didn't have time to stop her. The prosecutor... Okay. Prosecutor was cold and calculating like a robot. She killed without pain and remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Objection! Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph. Okay. Is it because she's wearing gloves? Okay. So, because here's the thing. This is when Edgeworth parked, right? 12 minutes passed. So supposedly the victim was alive. But within 6 minutes, she encouraged the victim to show up, and yeah, like why did the victim even go there? But encouraged the victim to go there, kill the victim, and call the sister. Well, all those gloves, surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would have not been wearing those gloves. What? What? Those gloves do seem to tell the tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. Rubber gloves prove it. What if she was just in a habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves and the kinds used for autopsies. In In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. That's the only possible conclusion one could make. Everything was planned. It was premeditated crime. Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She got them all thinking that this was planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show them that this wasn't premeditated. No prints. Oh, I can check stuff like that. Okay. No. Died within 1 hour. Okay, 4 o'clock. Victim's memo of the trunk. Is it this? Is this the murder? Is this, sorry, is it the, yeah. Is this the evidence? Sorry. Yeah. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before anything else. Oh, okay, so that's, stent, right. I'm going to try the phone call. See if that works. Present the phone call. This evidence. Okay, damn. How exactly is evidence? I don't know. That's an ouch. The rubber gloves prove it. Okay. I don't know why this is proof. No traces of the victim. What traces of the victim's blood? No prints. I'm gonna assume it's... Yeah, because how could they have planned that, right? I'm gonna try. Nope. I'm basing it off the music, because if the music stops, then... Government autopsy report. With the car. Telephone. Right, I don't know. After the crime was committed... cool. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Zooming in. There we go. But, oh. I meant to check it, but okay. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunchboxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that Mr. Edgeworth was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed it is my knife. My knife. What's with this case? Defendant prosecutors, right? Only the prosecutors, bad people. The defense has a request. We ask that the witness prove an accurate testimony, or provide an accurate testimony. What's that, Ricky? In your testimony, you say that Lana Skye had planned this murder. And, oh, because it's Edgeworth. Why would she plan to take Edgeworth? But could they just argue to frame Edgeworth? And that's why she was wearing special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she also not plan to prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh. The knife just happened to be in the trunk of the car, of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. She seemed genuinely stunned about that. Order! 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 Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Well, let's not get that excited. Right. I believe the lunch next to you is... What? I believe the next lunch next to you... Sorry. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in your whole premeditated theory. But prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That's the only thing the prosecution needs to prove, nothing else. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do, she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing? I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Okay, Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive a human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Nope, it was only in once. The victim was summoned to the police department from the police department to the prosecutor's office. That does sound like a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? If you knew which one was going to be ordering it, yeah. In any case, the defense may cross-examine the witness. Witness was only stabbed once. Not the witness, the victim. I mean, we could stab the witness, but that would just have its own different crime. Present. Yeah. You see, she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. Oh, she didn't like that. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this. But take a look. The autopsy states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. That was our objection. Don't give him credit. What a hunk. He's my hero, really. I will kill everyone in this law room. What about my objection? No one noticed? I'm with you, Phoenix. Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such a mistake is possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from the victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed at least twice. I mean, even the knife doesn't look like it was stabbed into, it looks like it was cut. Then tell us what you saw, what? Tell us what you saw that you thought was bloody, testify. Fair enough. Her red muffler looked like her red muffler looked like it was blood to me. That's how ghastly the scene was. Her red muffler? Yes, that, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. She can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. Miss Skye was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for blood spatter? I suppose people often mistake my beards for a bib. If you say so, I guess. No, okay. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like a kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. She's not wearing a scarf. 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 She's not wearing... However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There is only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. A short wick burns out fastest, the scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax, and eventually, a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. No, you're lying to all of us.
Objection!
Liar. Pants on fire.
Objection!
I didn't even get to read that, but okay. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. That is true. So true. What? I suspect... Oh, sorry, this suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. Okay, but all I'm hearing is that Edgeworth is not doing his job. And you proved it yourself with this photograph, huh? But that's... Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps. You finally found the true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. He's not even doing his job properly. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection, top liver? I'm going to sit here with Phoenix, because, like, we're not getting the respect we deserve for the job that we're getting paid to do. But it was there. A scarf. No, not that. Something red. Really. Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Hold on, so is this not because, like, since Edgeworth is free from his trauma of the previous case, has he been acting more of a as a defendant, a defense attorney instead of an actual prosecutor? Has he been helping people escape? You saw the crime and apprehended the suspects. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember something accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of our testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Okay. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. A citizen's arrest. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused with my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but Angel Starr, resistance is futile. Okay. You're quite determined about the scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That is 2 snakes. That's me, Angel Starr. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. Well, you know, depends on the day. No thanks. Note itself, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. It's true. His weakness has been exposed, exploited. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hand against my hand aside, knocked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. And oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Raw. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you will. Okay. Oil drum's not listed on the map. Okay. Where would you say... So where is this partition on the floor plans? That, okay. I'm sure she mentioned that this wall next to her. That's right. No oil drums on the other side. There was a wall there about 6 feet high. She's obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? You say quickly, were you close to the suspects? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time, but there was a fence in front of you. Maybe I should press her for details. How far away was she when she witnessed the murder? I guess look at the picture to find out. Very well, you may continue your testimony. No, press. I think I hit leave her alone. There's this one, yeah. As I just said, press her. I'd like to see on this floor plans just to be safe. The Lunchland car was car park B. She was in visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes? Is this correct, Mr.? Yes, that is right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing. The Coffee Queen lunch lady is an athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high. Also, how did Miss Skye not get away? Yes, arresting her, she mentioned the muffler. Okay, yeah. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Shaky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the little word muffler. Just the one word? The car muffler. So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her cell phone. A phone? She can't mean. Ask further. By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately, my memory is like a salmon heading upstream, you see. She's losing her mind. No, the court doesn't see Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right, near the car. But that's on the other side of the thing where there's no oil drum. That's right, near the car there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. And so she used a cell phone? Indeed, why would she not use a cell phone first? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should of course add this to your testimony. The things I do to please the rookie defense attorney. Word my flow over. Okay. How she tried. What? How she tried to phone. Okay. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha, I was going to say ask the same thing. I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookie. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. She then picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of water. So then she pulled her phone out from her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then I boldly grabbed her arm. The chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? Okay. She made her escape, gave me more specific, pushed aside my hand and ran off. It was a terrible sight to see of pate of, I don't know, photographs. What? She even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum? There was an oil drum lying on its side of the crime scene, or scene of the crime. But it's strange. What's that? If she wanted to escape, why did she run the other way? The other way? Parking lot entrance. That's right. It doesn't make sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries. I wish I could solve a few before finding more, though. So Miss Skye tried to run. I'm sorry my sister was so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. But she did do it. You have to believe me. Okay. Actually, ammo at 515. Trunk. It would have to be. Am I not able to? Just that is the only thing I can do. There's no need to push it again. What's wrong? You look like what? You look like I do during finals. Yeah. Yeah, but mind. It's nothing. Fair enough. I don't know. We'll try it. Nope, music's still going. Okay. Let's try it. This way. One last time. Stabbed the victim, went to petition, picked the phone. She pulled it from a pocket. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. How can she have seen she went to the telephone and pulled it out from her pocket? Yeah. And you saw her doing this. Yeah, how could she have seen her doing this? There we go. Mister, I have to conclude that you have given a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye.
Objection!
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought that you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction in your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know how you're talking. I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you could possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. The imaginary phone was on the backside of the partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Order! Order, what's the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me to a question. Tell us exactly what lie the witness has told us in court that she saw it. Here's where the attack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about what she saw. She lied about what she saw. In other words, she didn't see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. That does seem hard to imagine. How could she have? Very logical. What's the matter, Star? Cat got your lunchbox? Miss Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory, but why would Miss Star lie like that? Huh? Why would she say that my sister had tried to use the phone, but failed? It doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something so insignificant? Oh, dang, she's right. I mean, maybe she really did see her try and use the emergency phone, but that doesn't make sense with the timeline. I see no room for doubt here. You ordered the patouille on rice? Mr. Wright, I thought you had... What? Damn, did I get one more try? It really is one more try. Oh, the way she saw it. Okay. Miss Skye tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. Pointless to lie, I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone, it would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location. Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask you a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime scene? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The security room? It would have to be here, right? Because how else could she witness? I don't know. It does. I don't know. It seems a bit. I'll just. Ooh, A block.
Take that!
The music's still going. Yeah, she could see the emergency phone. That's true. That solves the mystery.
Objection!
That would also allow her to see the emergency phone, yes. But if she was there, she would have been able to arrest her before she dialed the phone. Oh. Yeah, my speed, I can run at 50 feet in 9 seconds, you know. That's really fast. That is... Ouch. No further prolonged trial. She's guilty. So it would have to be the security room, because then she would have to get down. That's a shame. Right, well, let's get back to where we were then. Finally back here. Okay, so... Is it the security room? Yeah?
Take that!
This is the place where she could have been. Security guard room? Indeed, the security guard room is in the underground parking lot, is well positioned. is built on the second floor, and you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime. You remember in your testimony you said you brought your lunch to your boyfriend in the security room, yes? Well, mister, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could have been turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Star. I'm not just a man, I am the man. Phoenix Wright. What have you done? You used to be a detective, you should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty, if you talk about Miss Skye. Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? Doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said that she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Unless she wasn't supposed to be there? Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. But how would she have gotten the picture if she wasn't there? The truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If the witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason is, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. How is the photo taken if she was in the security guard? Miss Starr witnessed the crime scene in the security guard station. But she lied and said she was saw it from U block. Must be vital. What vital difference was it? Angle of the view of the crime. Well, the angle of which she saw the crime occur would change. The angle? What do you mean? Well, security guard station is on the second floor, and she had sort of a more 3D view of the crime scene. And this is more important why? Okay, damn. Distance to the crime. Okay. Change the difference between on the crime scene of the crime.
Objection!
My condolences, Mr. Wright, but once I look at the floor plans, it's quite clear. The distance between scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change. Yeah, it's 30 feet in a 2D distance, but she can't just go through the window.
Objection!
What you saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime scene from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye? Well, the witness... Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches have gone low to inedible. I was bringing PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend? He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime scene from the glass walled station. That's the positioning of the... Okay. And before I knew it, before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. You go, W, witness, green Wario. That's why I had to go through the visitor's car park, or parking lot, or parking in B block. That is quite the detour. That was more than a few seconds, yeah. probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? Which is at the time how long it took her to make a phone call. Yes, this changing things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it because I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point. And the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have the evidence to stop this? I think not. Not really, no. I think I need more evidence. I accidentally skipped again. I keep doing that. Caviar, what makes my eyes tingle? Mr. Wright, no evidence can win against the raw power of caviar, scientific facts. The only thing left is your strong presence in the defense case. Let's screw the lid back and those overpriced fish eggs. 5 minutes between the witnessing the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make a pasta in the amount of time. If you like it al dente. I've got lunch boxes with that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A minute's blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, why would you, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Oh, okay. Don't get the wrong idea, I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She was even had a picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. True. Well then, it seems we've come to an end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated the witness on account of her professional history. We did it. We screwed the can shut. Mr. Wright. That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned, and with that, the court is adjourned. Of course it's you. You want attention. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense's team's leftovers. Anything else you to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Is this another one of her tricked lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Whoa, a triple-decker. Don't fall to the food. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I will allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like a lunch lad motto says, you won't be disappointed. What you gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene, and now to the matter of the victim's shoe. She's wearing black shoes. This is getting desperate. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was from the victims, and the other blood type matched the defendant, Lana Skye. This shoe proves its flawless decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchline for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is it the first time I've heard of this evidence? She's just making stuff up. Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had the blood test performed. Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. I agree. The defense agrees. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence. At least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth, sure it's celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, the shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Ooh. Okay. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Mr. Edgeworth is looking pretty solemn. You could at least study some evidence law, really. No, we're too busy doing the same thing as Angela Starr, I guess. Angel. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, Miss the witness. Anything to ensure the guilty is properly judged. Okay. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Okay. Cool. Why do you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5 minutes blank means nothing. Then why didn't you say that just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This when the suspect is admitting she did it. And but false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Star. Just get this over with. Right, hold on. Options, saving. Back. Present. Picture. Wrong one! No! No! You know what? I'm not accepting this. I'm not accepting this damage. I want my options. I load. Is that the right one? It is. I will save scum. Haha. That's the wrong button. Attended the chief prosecutor and notified the chief of police. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. The shoe was my secret weapon, if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of a crime. Now tell us what you did next. Nope, it's not the victims. It's not of the victim's shoe, actually. Never mind. I thought it was because the defendant. Okay, and the other words match the type of defendant. Cool. You can't say if you're blood defendant with blood tests. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh? Speak up. Well, blood comes from 4 groups. A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all blood tests out there, which means we can more or less narrow any samples of blood down to just one person. Also, I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had gotten a little more time, I would have gotten the test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skye. So the suspect blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Goodman. I was afraid I was going to say that. I can't let this go without there's evidence go without reply with. Okay. You ordered the peppered fish guts. Isn't that just the meat? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. Season enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? It looks like a woman's shoe. Problem? There's a problem. I'm not imagining things. There's one critical problem with the evidence, a clear contradiction. The gleam in your eyes. You're still young. What is the contradiction? White enamel shoe. Oh, stepping in the blood. The blood was there first. But if you're two, it's all shoe. It's got to be the victims. Must have stepped. Blood. Yeah, cool. Never mind. You're still young, rookie. Cool. Now, but you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear the. Okay. What's the contradiction about the shoe? The shoe itself. Am I not? Okay.
Take that!
I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed. There's quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense, the victim was stabbed with a knife. Could we possibly... What could possibly contradict you about the blood on the bottom of the shoe? Is it the amount of blood of the knife?
Take that!
I'm guessing your shoe has blood on it too. Just as you shot yourself in the foot. Would you like a grinder? You grind some heel on my boot, Mr. Wright. I'm proud. Okay. Is it, Alright, cool.
Hold it!
Did I ask this one? Yep. Forensics. Foot slams, one stab after all. Alright, anyway, I guess it's this. Wrong one.
Objection!
They aren't related. Not at all. Huh? What are we...
Hold it!
I'm supposed to do that, okay. There's a problem. Is it gonna be Lana's? Yeah, there's no blood. There's no blood on the ground. Okay. Okay.
Take that!
Okay. I get back to where we are. What else is there?
Take that!
The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Taken out of the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange why there isn't any bloody footprint by the scene of the crime? As you can see, there was no traces of any such footprint at the scene of the crime. This contradicts your claim about the shoe.
Objection!
This picture only shows part of the floor. There could be have been a bloody footprint.
Objection!
Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order, order, order! Well, witness. What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but is it true that the lack of footprint is a contradiction? But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know, it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? A witness is more devious than I give her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There was one vital hint in to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked... are you gonna say the barrel? Or vial? She knocked over my hands and knocked over the oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. I thought it was a strange thing for a normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now the witness. Allow me to ask a very simple question. Was the oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that, I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness. Well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over. The chief was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you know what, do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? You don't mean the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains. That could become evidence against her. Then why didn't she wash the knife? I guess you couldn't have, could you? What's the point though? Because like she'd already been caught at that point. That ties things up quite nicely. Bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. That's the victim though. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, the prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Skye's right hand was hurt. She didn't say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him. So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, please do something. What can I do? Your sister's confessed to the crime and tried to conceal it. But, enough. There is no need to further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. The court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. It says Emma. Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you just say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Oh, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well? I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
Objection!
The time for deliberations has passed. No, more evidence means more talking. Any further comments, and you'll be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. You've been dethroned. Look at this. A photograph? Is that just, what? I hadn't just in case anyone had the gold to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no reason for error of this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. Erasing out the last trace of any doubt of the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this from the case from the beginning. And it seems that this is what your sister wanted. Anyway. Well, don't we get to examine it since it's new evidence? I'm sorry, Mia. Right? Why not? Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt and take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. Is this in our evidence yet? It's the last piece of evidence, is it? Not there. Very well, this time I'd like to declare the verdict for good. Nope, objection. Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdict in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. The trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence a proper consideration. So, right, are you saying there is a problem with the latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem, right or wrong. I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Is it the knife?
Take that!
Well, it's probably here, don't you think? As you're older, Mr. Wright, please let me give you a piece of advice. When you point at something, at least remember to keep your eyes open. Well, that's wrong then. Is it that it's not touching the ground? Well, it's probably here, don't you think?
Take that!
What is the problem then? Is it just this muffler?
Take that!
The problem is the photograph is here. What's this? There's something at the car's muffler. Wait a minute, just a moment. Your Honor? You just said muffler. However, I see no traces of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as a part of the exhaust system. A pipe. I see, and I see. What's suspicious about this cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does this have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Well, you even brought it up.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on mind. Tell us what you think this piece of cloth. It's from the phone, right?
Take that!
Miss Starr, recall your testimony of the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Yarg. She's turning into a pirate. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually the exhaust pipe? If so, that means the piece of cloth is of vital evidence. Okay. Well, it seems that we have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about the piece of cloth. If we leave any questions unanswered, here we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me the cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so, he says, hop rump. That was close, but we made it, at least for now. This call will be adjourned for 30 minutes recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry. He must have skipped breakfast. To be continued.